ineffective training most often. And training professionals get a little salty when I say that thing, but this is the reason why. Because we say, here's a 28-page PowerPoint presentation, and we're going to sit you in a classroom, or we're going to put you in front of an LMS system, and we're going to have you tap, 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 because you have other things you need to do. We're going to try to build in some cognitive functions where we actually have you ask a question, and we're going to hope that it's sticky. And then we're going to send you out back into the job that you've been doing with your neural pathway of 20 years. And we're going to tell you, you learned all about that change to end. We told you about it. We trained you on it. Why didn't you change your behavior?
Right.
Well, because the training that we did wasn't in the environment where the end needs to happen. It was in a classroom with coffee and donuts and whatever else. And I got to sit in air conditioning, or I got to do this, and I cruised through it because I don't have time for this. And kind of like what you mentioned, the body language. You want to know the least popular person that walks on the job site is a safety professional.
Safety person.
You get hate looks all over the place, like, oh gosh, safety's here. And so if we're not training them in the moment and training them in the job, then it's not going to be sticky, and you're not going to rebuild those neural pathways. The other thing is that you mentioned, and that I've seen, is we're not training them where the stress happens.
Mm-hmm.
So we're not putting them under the pressure of what to experience. So, for example, if I go, we're going to have a fire drill, and we're going to do the fire drill, and everybody knows our muster points, and everybody knows your buddy, and everybody's going to sweep the building, and have the captains, blah, 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 blah. And in a perfect scenario, in a sunshiny day, we're all going to go out and we're going to do the fire drill until something catches on fire. And then all of that training and all of that mapping goes out the window, and you start going into fight, flight, or, freeze. And so if I haven't built that pathway deep enough with enough experience in the exact situation, my brain is going to say, I haven't been trained for this because this situation is new. I am trained in a classroom. If you tell me what to do in a classroom, I can regurgitate everything that you just told me. And I get 100%, and I can say, yeah, give me the certificate. But if you put me in the stress situation and I haven't been trained in that tense situation, then I'm going to fail.
Right.
So aviation figured this out with pilots. Hence the simulators.
Yep.
And the simulators train the pilots to fail safely. So you can be in a stressful situation when the bird hits the engine and the hail's coming down and all the different things, and you have to figure out, your brain has to wire and build the neural pathways around, how do I do this in this very stressful environment and still do it the way I was trained?
Right.
Because now you're training and you're building the neural pathway in the moment, the way that they're going to experience the moment. I can loop it back to my children.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
You have a young man. My youngest was an escape artist. Absolutely. Break out of anything. Absolutely anything. I used to warn anybody that was babysitting, if you leave him too long, the higher up he'll be when you get there. He climbs everything. He gets into everything. All of it, right? I needed to learn as a parent that me saying, no, don't do that, that's unsafe. He's like, I'm fine. It didn't kill me yet. I'm fine, Mom. It's fine. I'm good. So I had to rewire how I train him. And so I would literally take him into fire stations, and I would literally take him into situations where we would put him in fail safely kind of risk situations so that he would learn, like, this can hurt you. And I need you to stop. Because his brain was not wired to receive that could actually hurt you. I mean, he was the little guy that would reach up and say, oh, Mom says it's hot. Psst, yeah, it's hot.
Of course. I have
and
to
then
feel
it's
it.
like, is it still hot? Let's try it again. And a couple of times. And it's just like, how many times are you going to burn yourself before you learn that's hot? But that's how he had to learn something.